You'll never amount to anything, Emily. My father's words echoed in the sterile air of their real estate office, the scent of lemon polish sharp and cloying. My stomach dropped as their disapproving eyes swept over my worn apron. Barista, really? 2 years, countless lattes, and endless nights later, I received an email. Congratulations, your blog has been nominated for. My hands trembled. Inside, I was screaming with excitement. Outside, I remained composed. Sound familiar? If you've ever felt overlooked, underestimated, or just plain dismissed, hit like and subscribe. Trust me, you won't want to miss how this barista serves up a piping hot cup of revenge. Serves up a piping hot cup of revenge. The roots of this brewing rebellion trace back to a seemingly insignificant birthday, 2016. My older sister, Bethany, the dutiful daughter and spitting image of my mother, was gifted a brand new Lexus for her 22nd birthday. The leather seats smelled rich and promising. I, on the other hand, received a set of professional accounting software, a subtle nudge towards a career I vehemently opposed. Bethany was lauded for her ambition, while I was told, "It's time to be practical, Emily." A year later, Bethany secured an internship at a prestigious marketing firm, a stepping stone carefully paved by my parents' connections. The celebratory dinner that followed was filled with clinking champagne glasses and pronouncements of her bright future. My own acceptance into a creative writing workshop was met with a dismissive shrug. "Hobbies are fine, dear, but they don't pay the bills," my mother stated, her diamond ring glittering under the chandelier. While they toasted Bethany's success, I silently nursed my bitterness. The final straw incident involved Max, my childhood dog. He was my confidant, my furry shadow, my unwavering source of joy. During that grueling summer caring for my grandmother, my parents decided that Max required too much attention. I returned home to find his bed empty, his toys packed away. "We found him a lovely farm," my mother said, her voice devoid of emotion. The betrayal cut deep. That day, I vowed to break free, to build a life where my choices were celebrated, not condemned. Max's absence became a symbol, a constant reminder of the love and support that was conditional. My days were a blur of espresso shots and steamed milk, my nights a sanctuary of words and website code. The relentless grind of minimum wage barely covered rent for my cramped studio apartment above a noisy laundromat. The constant hum of the machines vibrated through the floorboards, a relentless reminder of my precarious existence. Yet each click of the keyboard, each new follower on the daily grind, was a brick laid in my secret fortress. The strategic silence was deliberate. My success was my shield, my validation. I savored the irony of my parents' obliviousness. During Christmas that year, my father had regaled the family with a story about a brilliant, young entrepreneur who made millions selling custom-designed phone cases online. The praise was effusive. "That's the kind of ambition you need, Emily," he'd said, completely unaware of my double life. No congratulations, no encouragement, no investment, just a hollow compliment to a stranger. I felt invisible, yet strangely powerful. As the blog grew, offers began pouring in. A small clothing boutique offered me a partnership, a local coffee roaster wanted me to review their new blend, and a travel agency proposed a sponsored trip to Italy. Each offer was a testament to my growing influence, a silent roar against the dismissals of the past. These weren't just milestones, they were defiant acts of self-creation. The blogging conference loomed, a glittering opportunity that also represented a potential reckoning. The fear was a constant companion, the possibility of exposure, the threat of renewed control, the potential for more hurt. No hiding, no anonymity, no safety. Still, the prospect of recognition, of standing on a stage, of being seen for who I truly was, outweighed the risk. I booked my flight, ordered professional headshots, and prepared to unveil my secret empire. The nomination stung with excitement, but my stomach nodded. Reveal or remain hidden. The conference details arrived, highlighting the gala dinner, a formal affair with industry elites. Perfect. A week later, I found a cream-colored silk dress. It would photograph well. I booked a session with a stylist. I wanted to look polished, professional, and undeniably successful. No frumpy barista, just the CEO of the daily grind. Then, a text from my sister. Family dinner Sunday, Mom's making her famous lasagna. A picture of my parents' perfectly manicured lawn, the house where I felt suffocated. "You coming?" "Wouldn't miss it," I replied, a small lie to a big truth. It would be the perfect reconnaissance mission. Sunday arrived, humid and heavy. As I pulled into the driveway, I noticed my parents' cars, Bethany's Lexus gleaming beside them. My old, slightly dented Honda felt jarringly out of place. The scent of garlic and oregano hung in the air as I walked inside. A familiar aroma that once brought comfort now felt like a suffocating blanket. "Emily, you made it." My mother's greeting was warmer than usual, but her eyes held a familiar scrutiny. "You look different." Different was good. My father patted me on the back, his grip surprisingly firm. "Good to see you, sweetheart. Bethany tells us you're still at that coffee shop." He said it with a barely concealed condescension. Lasagna was served, the conversation flowing around me like a lukewarm tide. Bethany was recounting her latest marketing triumph, my parents nodding approvingly. I listened, carefully gauging their mood, searching for any hint of suspicion. The news hadn't reached them yet. "So Emily," my mother said, cutting into the silence. "Any prospects on the horizon?" Her tone implied it was time I grew up, moved on, became someone they could proudly introduce at their country club. "I'm working on something," I said, carefully vague. "Oh," my father raised an eyebrow. "Still writing those little stories." I felt a surge of defiance. Something bigger. The conference hall buzzed. The nomination announcement reverberated, then silence. My heart hammered. "And the winner for Best New Lifestyle Blog is The Daily Grind, Emily Carter." A spotlight blinded me. The MC gestured towards the stage. My legs felt like lead, but I forced myself to stand, to walk. The crowd blurred, a sea of faces. I saw my cousin, Ashley, preening for the cameras with her mother. And then I saw them. My parents. Their faces were studies in disbelief. My mother's hand flew to her mouth, her perfectly applied lipstick smudged. My father's jaw hung slack, his usual condescending smirk replaced by a look of utter bewilderment. Bethany stared, eyes wide, her carefully constructed facade cracking. I took the microphone, my voice trembling at first. I inhaled, then began. "2 years ago I was a barista," I stated, my voice gaining strength with each word. "Some people thought it was all I'd ever be. I was told that my dreams were impractical, that my passions were a waste of time." I paused, letting the weight of those words hang in the air. But I had a story to tell. I built a blog, The Daily Grind, fueled by caffeine and a whole lot of stubbornness. Today, it reaches millions of people around the world. A ripple of applause broke out, growing into a thunderous ovation. The camera zoomed in on my parents. My mother was whispering fiercely to my father, her face flushed. He looked like he'd been slapped. Bethany's carefully crafted smile faltered, replaced by a flicker of something I couldn't quite decipher. "This isn't just a blog," I continued, my voice ringing with newfound confidence. "It's a community. It's a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of following your own path, no matter what anyone else says." I looked directly at my parents, their faces a mix of shock and dawning understanding. My father's tie seemed too tight, my mother's eyes welled up with tears. "Thank you," I concluded, my voice clear and strong. "This is for everyone who's ever been told they couldn't. Prove them wrong." The room erupted. As I walked off stage, I saw their stunned faces. The power had shifted. The aftershocks hit immediately. Interview requests flooded my inbox. My phone buzzed incessantly, but I needed to speak to them. Later that evening, a knock echoed on my hotel door. It was them. My mother rushed in, engulfing me in a hug that felt both familiar and foreign. "Emily, darling, we're so proud." I stiffened, the scent of her perfume a stark contrast to the lingering aroma of coffee from my old life. "We had no idea," my father stammered, his usual bluster deflated. "Absolutely no idea." He attempted a smile, but it faltered. "That's the point, wasn't it?" I asked, my voice flat. "Can we talk?" Bethany asked. I invited them in, watching them carefully. The expensive hotel suite clearly impressed them. My mother eyed the designer furniture, a calculating glint in her eye. "This is all wonderful, Emily, just wonderful." "So," my father began, clearing his throat. "About your business." "Yes, Dad," I prompted, already knowing what was coming. He leaned forward, his voice low and earnest. "I've been thinking, perhaps I could invest, offer some guidance. I have decades of experience, you know." "Guidance," I repeated, the word laced with irony. "Like you guided me away from creative writing?" He flinched. "That was for your own good." "I don't need your money, Dad," I stated calmly. "Or your guidance, I built this myself." My mother jumped in, her tone shifting. "Well, darling, we are family. We should be helping each other." She attempted a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. Perhaps we could discuss some opportunities. I have some friends who run very successful businesses. Opportunities, I tilted my head. Or control, silence hung heavy in the air. My mother's smile faltered. I watched them squirm, relishing the discomfort. Bethany, who had been silent until now, spoke up. Emily, can we just start over? I met her gaze, searching for sincerity. Can we? I asked. My mother, sensing the shift in momentum, pressed on. You know, Emily, we always wanted the best for you. We just didn't understand. You laughed then, I said, my voice soft but firm. You're not laughing now. The silence stretched, punctuated only by the distant hum of city traffic. They looked at me, waiting for my next move. I simply smiled, a small, controlled expression that masked a lifetime of resentment and a newfound sense of freedom. I held my silence, knowing they would fill it with their own anxieties. They were uncomfortable, I was not. After a moment, my mother stood. Well, we should let you rest, she said. We'll talk again soon, dear. Yes, my father agreed, his voice subdued. We're very proud of you, Emily. As they left, I closed the door, leaning against it. The daily grind had come full circle, from my secret life to center stage. But the show wasn't over. This was just the intermission. My phone buzzed again, this time an email. It wasn't an interview request, it was from a law firm. Subject, Carter Family Trust. I opened it, and the world tilted. The Carter Family Trust, established by my grandfather, controlled the majority shares in Carter Real Estate, the company my parents thought they ran. The company that defined their status, their wealth, their entire identity. The email explained a clause I'd never known existed. A clause triggered by Bethany's recent, disastrous business venture, a failed attempt to launch her own influencer brand, funded by a hefty loan from the company coffers. The clause stated that in the event of financial mismanagement, control of the trust would pass to the next most financially stable Carter child. That was me. I blinked, the words blurring. Financially stable. A year ago, the phrase would have been laughable. Now, it was a weapon. I understood that my parents were at the precipice of financial ruin. Bethany's business failure had severely impacted their assets, and more than that, their reputation in the elite circles they ran in. They needed the real estate firm to stay afloat, to maintain the facade of success. And now, I held the key. The realization hit them with the force of a physical blow. My mother's face paled. My father's hand trembled as he reached for his phone. Emily, my mother said, her voice barely a whisper. What is this? I showed them the email. My mother sank into the sofa, defeated. My father's face flushed, his eyes darting between the email and me. This can't be true, he stammered. It is, I said, my voice calm and steady. Bethany's business failure triggered a clause in the trust. I am now the controlling trustee. The blood drained from my mother's face as she understood the implication. But the company, our reputation. You mean your reputation, I corrected. And yes, I control it now. My father's bluster returned, fueled by desperation. You wouldn't dare, he snarled. You wouldn't destroy your family. I met his gaze, unflinching. I'm not destroying the family, Dad. You did that a long time ago. I paused, letting the silence hang heavy. But I'm also not vindictive. I won't let the company fail. However, the leadership needs to change. My mother stared. What do you mean? Bethany is no longer involved. She can't be associated with the family business. I will be putting myself in charge of the family business, with guidance of course from you both in a supportive role. Their mouths hung open, aghast. I wasn't just a successful blogger anymore. I was now the steward of their legacy, their livelihood, their very identity. There's one more thing, I said, my voice soft, almost an afterthought. Remember Max? Their faces registered confusion, then a flicker of guilt. He wasn't rehomed in some lovely farm, was he? I continued, my voice hardening. I know the truth, Dad. I have receipts from the vet. The truth is he was at an animal shelter less than 10 miles from your house. His name was changed to Buddy by another family. I bought him back and he's living in my new house. I also adopted his friends from the shelter. It's all online. I think it's a very cute story. My mother gasped, tears streaming down her face. My father stood there, frozen, his face ashen. I am the Carter now, Daddy, and I am not giving him up this time. Time blurred. Months turned into years. The family firm thrived under my direction. Old policies, new ethics. The whispers of a miracle turnaround followed me, a stark contrast to the past doubts. My parents, cautiously respectful, offered advice, their influence diminished but their presence a constant reminder. My new home, once a symbol of defiance, now echoes with laughter and the happy barks of adopted dogs, a far cry from the sterile silence of my childhood. Connections with other bloggers deepened into genuine friendships, a chosen family built on mutual respect and shared dreams. The blog thrived, yes, but that was secondary. The primary business became the nonprofit Animal Rescue and Shelter. Looking back, the revenge had lost its sweetness, replaced by a quiet satisfaction. The power I craved wasn't about control or retribution, but about freedom. I traded the illusion of family harmony for authentic happiness. In the end, it wasn't about proving them wrong, but proving myself worthy. I finally found my voice, and my success has been more than revenge, but a testament to the power of self-worth. Feels good, right? Don't just sit there. Share your story and inspire others to chase their dreams over proving wrongs. After all, success is the sweetest revenge.